Hey, you guys, it's me, Kiana, and I wanted to come at you guys and talk to you about a little bit about how I'm able to not quote unquote have cheat days and feel deprived on a diet. Okay. Now, I'm only bringing this up because I get a lot of PMs, and what I do is I try to answer them. Not often do I check my personal messages anymore, but when I do, if I get an overwhelming amount of people talking about the same thing or asking me the same questions, I'll do a video because I know that that's in demand. I know that's needed. So, I wanted to come at you guys and actually do a video on how, like I said, I've maintained now 72 days not having not one cheat day and not feeling deprived. Now, as you all know, the Atkins program is quite different than your regular standard program. Although it's been around for over 20 something, almost 30 years, it's still considered a non traditional diet. Now, what you need to do is when you're trying to get on Atkins, you need to A, Google Atkins, and a bunch of information will come up. B, you can look on YouTube and just put in Atkins results, and you'll see it's not only me, of course, that are getting great results from Atkins diet. And the other thing you can do is you can buy the book from Amazon.com. The book is well under $10 with free shipping, or you can go to the library and just get the book that way. They also have the book in your local, like, what do they call the stores? Your local, like Walmart or local markets have some of the markets have the book as well. And it just basically shows you how your body actually breaks down fats, how your body breaks down carbs, how your body breaks down proteins, and what your body is usually being filled on. Um, and I think you'll be quite surprised when you see the actual breakdown of why it works and how you're able to eat foods that most consider fattening and what got you fat. It's not the actual food sometimes, it's the way that you're eating the foods, meaning the way that you're eating them with other items. Um, and you'll see that if you exclude certain items out of your diet, and if you include more items of certain specific specific items into your diet, you will see that you'll get great weight loss results. And I'm not just talking about inches, you guys. I'm talking about actual pounds will melt off of you. Now, a lot of people in the comment section, they always put down how much they've lost since I've been on Atkins, and I've enlightened them to a lot of things on Atkins. They've also shared how much they've lost. They've shared if they've had any struggles. They've shared that it's the most easiest diet they've ever been on. It's the most resultful diet that they've ever been on. And usually you can find those on my videos that discuss anything about Atkins. Now, what I wanted to talk to you guys about right now was, even despite me having other foods around me, and also despite me having cookouts, parties, and all that kind of stuff, having birthday cake around me, that everybody bought me a birthday cake for my birthday, which was May the 2nd. I was on Atkins. Having had two large cookouts since then. I'm the one that always cooks. I cook for my whole neighborhood whenever we do cookouts and stuff, so I've always had to fix tuna salads, potato salads, all that kind of stuff. And still, people wonder how I'm able to not eat those things. This is the thing. I've come to a place in my life where every time I look at something to eat, I think about, is it worth it? You get to a place in your diet or a time frame in your diet that you've been on it for a while, and I think that point hits around 3-4 weeks. And at that point, you've not eaten so many things that you could have eaten. At that point, not eaten so many things that everybody else around you is eating. And you have made sure that you have not indulged. And I look at it like this. I've been on Atkins now for 72 days. And I don't want that all to go down the drain for a Hostess Twinkie. That's just what it is. I don't want it to all go down the drain for a few spoonfuls of potato salad. And that's one of the things that keeps me going. Another thing that keeps me going is I think about time frames that I've tried diets in the past. And I think about 6 months later how much weight I could have lost. And I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to feel the I don't want to feel that feeling of going on a diet and 6 months later still not have lost anything because I've been off of it for 5 months at that point and still having to start up and try to do another diet. I don't want to do that again. 6 months later, I want to see that all of my efforts, all of my walking away, all of my juggling, and all of my maintaining was not in vain. And I've been successful at it. And that is one of the things that makes it different for me this time than any other time before. I can honestly say to you guys, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but I've never in my whole entire life, and I'm pushing 40 to be honest, okay? I have never in my entire life, you guys, stuck with anything longer than 3 weeks. That includes my prescription diet pills I've been on before. They work wonderfully. But after paying for them probably for about a month and feeling my heart skipping beats and, feeling like I'm running through the house like I'm on drugs and all that kind of stuff, feeling like that after a month and then kicking out so much money to get them because you can't get them on, your prescription card, I would get off. Now, I would, yes, see results for that 30 days, but I would gain them back just as well as I got them off, just as quickly. This is the only time in my life I've been successful at any diet program, you guys. And that's a big deal for a woman that's almost 40 years old. So when I get all the slack about people saying things about Atkins and, throwing digs and asking questions that obviously if I've already answered a million times before, when I get all these questions, you guys, basically, or comments, basically I laugh my fat jolly ass to the scale. The reason why is because while they're being deprived and while they are counting every morsel that they put in their mouth and at the middle of the day thinking about, oh God, how many more calories can I have and all that kind of stuff, while they're doing that, okay, I'm eating more healthier than I've ever eaten before, okay, and I still have things that a lot of people can't have on their diets. Some would say it's an easy way out. Well, that's what they say about people that have weight loss surgery. The fact is, as long as we get there, as long as we become better, as long as we become a more healthy weight, what difference does it make what tool you use to get there? Just get there. That's the point. And people are going to say whatever they want. And I find that a lot of people have so many negative things to say because, A, they're ignorant and don't understand or obviously can't read in order to find out how your body actually breaks down proteins, carbs, and foods. B, they don't understand that everything doesn't work for everybody. And I believe that the Atkins diet works for people. The people that it works extremely well for is people that are totally addicted to carbs. As for me, I was a potato junkie. Okay? Potato chips, I literally could eat a family-sized bag of chips in one day without hesitation, without a problem, and then drink a 2-liter with it. Okay? Now, for people that are like that, for people that eat rice and potatoes and bread and stuff in abundance, when you eliminate that out of your diet, that's when you're going to see extreme weight loss results. Those are the times and the people that you're going to see weight melting off of them because you're eliminating something that is basically overloaded in their system. So once you take out something that is overloaded in somebody's system, then your body is going to act totally different because it does not have that. It's going to act totally different in its absence. And that's why weight is literally melting off of me, I believe. Now, let me check my time. Let me check my time. Okay, I'm good. All right. Now, some people would ask, well, how are you able to see all these other foods around you? Like, for instance, I have probably about 12 boxes of cheeses in here in this house. I probably have about 6 bags, family-sized bag of chips. I have several different kinds of potato breads and stuff like that in here. I'm able to have these things in the house because, remember, I'm not the only one in here, and I have a family, and they eat other things other than the Atkins diet. So I'm able to do this because I make sure that I fix things that are Atkins friendly, but yet it's similar to what they're eating. As I showed you before, I had a craving for chili cheese dogs, so I made an Atkins friendly type of chili cheese dog. Had a craving for spaghetti, so I made an Atkins friendly spaghetti that didn't have any noodles. Whenever I want something sweet, I make sure I have my sugar-free Jello, which are 0 carbs. I make sure I have that at all times in the house. So when I see Daddy eating, Hostess Twinkies and all that kind of stuff, I grab my sugar-free Jello. When I see them eating chips, and maybe if I feel a little tempted because my eye wants it, then I make sure I grab my sunflower seeds because it's salty and it basically has that crunch. So I'm satisfied. I have found things that work well for me as far as substituting these bad foods that I cannot have on Atkins, and I find a substitute that works well for me. Now, the substitute that works well for me may not work well for you, but that's the point that I like about Atkins, is that within the confines of the Atkins program, you can find what works for you. Whenever I want something like ice cream or something, what I do is I've bought these little ice cream makers from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, or either your Dollar General. And this was one that's round, and you get 8 of them. And this is the one I use all the time because these are like fat popsicles, like old school popsicles. And you get 4, and they were $1. And I just simply take one of these little crystal light pouches. I shake it up in my shaker that I got from Dollar General, and I pour it in these little containers, and I take them out when they're done. And there I have popsicles like everybody else has ice cream and popsicles. So I substitute within the confines of my Atkins program to make sure that I still get similar taste, or what my palate considers similar, and I make sure that I'm still in the confines of the Atkins diet, but yet I'm satisfied. This is why I never, ever feel deprived. In fact, I don't crave bread or potatoes or rice at all. Like, literally, my palate never craves it, okay? But my eye craves it. So these are the things I do to substitute and get as close as possible as to having that thing that I once ate, but yet in the confines of the Atkins program. So these are just tips that I like to pass on to you guys. I hope some way, shape, or form it helps you out. And even if it doesn't help you, just to give you an insight on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm successful and will continue to be successful at it. So on that note, you guys, I thank you so much for viewing. Hope this has helped you in some way. I love you all. Be blessed.